What's up, guys? It's KC Gaming here, and today we are going to play some Great Battle Kills. And, so, okay, we'll do it this way. So, the way we are going to do this is that I have a face camera, which I totally love, by the way. And, so what's going to happen is, sorry if you guys can see my face. Of course you gotta do that. Okay. So, what we're going to do here is this game's pretty fun. Like, in this game is, if you guys do not know what Dragon Ball Z is what this is like a game mode. And the way we play is, so I already done this and got the thing up there, but today we're gonna play some survival. So yeah.
Hey, Roxy,
Which we can
where's that fuck out of you?
I don't mind that. I know now. We're going to do a scary video type crap. Oh, dang. Isn't that just a bummer? Scary videos. So, comment this, it's gonna be like a reaction type videos. Oh, even better. Oh, even better. We're gonna do a challenge. Oh my gosh, I like how today just like changed from game to another game to a challenge. It's gonna be don't. So guys, I'm just gonna let you guys know, I don't get scared easily. I may get jump scared, so I have an idea. If I make kind of like movement like I get scared, then it's over. It's over. It's just over. I promise guys, I'll admit to it. Start. I mean, I like Call of Duty.
Friends are supposed to always have your back, but in most of these situations, having a friend nearby would only add to the body count. Either way, these are some scary videos you probably shouldn't watch alone. Number 10. A YouTuber named RJFD gets a phone call from a friend, telling him to look at the sky. He goes outside and doesn't really see anything at first. It sounds like thousands of fireworks going off at once, but this is late at night in the middle of winter in small-town Michigan, so that doesn't make sense. There were no fireworks planned at all. Then the entire sky changes color.
What is that?
If fireworks is truly not the answer, then the only other explanation I have is some sort of strange weather phenomenon. Let me know if you think you have a logical reason for what's going on here, because I'm really not sure, and neither is anyone in the comments section of this video. Number 9. This rocket ride is a famous local attraction at the Luna Park in St. Petersburg, Russia. Here's what the ride looks like normally, and this is what it looks like after a cable frays to the point of snapping clean through. This angle clearly shows how close the riders are to plummeting hundreds of feet below. Look at the top of the ride. That cable to the left is the only thing keeping them alive. The tip of the ride is bending from the pressure and looks ready to come off. Rescue workers are eventually able to get everyone down to safety, though I'm not sure they felt anything but safe while dangling over 200 feet in the air with no end in sight. Number 8. A YouTuber named Wish Avenger and his friends are poking around a dark train tunnel near Lake Odell, Oregon. They are hoping to come across the door to a secret maintenance tunnel to explore, but they have to be quick because these tracks are highly active and on a tight schedule. The group knows they are in trouble when they feel a faint rumbling under their feet.
You know that makes me do.
After running full speed for nearly a minute, Wish Avenger turns around and sees the bright orange glow of a train gaining on them. They know trying to outrun the train at this point is useless, so they scramble for cover on the sides. Wish Avenger dives to the ground at the last second, and the train blazes by with only inches to spare. To not get run over, but he still isn't safe yet. There is barely any space between him and the train, and he could get taken out by a wider section of the locomotive at any second. The entire time Wish Avenger isn't sure about the fate of his friends. It's too loud to call out for them, so he just has to wait and see. A long time later, the train finally passes by, and Wish Avengers finds his friends. Together, they hurry out of the tunnel before the next one arrives. Number 7. A YouTuber named Jay Breezy works as a security guard at a nursing home in Chicago. No one seemed to believe him when he said that his job was haunted. Then one day, another security officer found out for themselves. His coworker starts to feel a very cold presence in the room, but doesn't think much of it at first. He is busy smoothing over his hair when he appears to see something off camera and stops moving. Pay attention to the bottom right-hand corner of the screen or you might miss it.
There you go. See it?
There's a rumor going around that Trevor Holt has the biggest you-know-what in school.
The biggest you-know-what?
Yeah, watch him. He got called. He was like,
I was about to write this off as CGI until I saw the security guard's stunned reaction.
he like, what the He stopped. He looked like, what the
It really does appear as though he sees something first in the doorway and then walking down the hall. Let me know if you agree that this is a paranormal experience or if this was somehow fate. Number 6. A student is walking around the campus, California State University in Northridge, when she is followed and grabbed by a total stranger. She runs into the Bookstein Hall of Economics and Business and her pursuer follows. Thinking fast, she pulls out her phone and starts attracting as much attention as she can.
Go ahead and tell everybody what the you're doing. What the are you doing? Whoa, love, I don't know you. Out of here!
Not even a crowd of curious onlookers is enough to distract the man from his single interest, as he again attempts to grab her. Watch this part and let me know if you would be brave enough to step in on her behalf.
Doing whoa, love, I don't know you. Out of here!
The man's hands go from her hair to her neck, and that's when bystanders step in. The 26-year-old was arrested and charged for his actions. He has not been sentenced as of this video, but he could face up to 13 years. Number 5. This Great Dane is walking through the kitchen when a small object crosses its path. Another orb passes by and immediately gets noticed. You don't have to be an animal lover to tell this dog is clearly surprised and uncertain at what it's seeing.
Okay, guys. I have another.
Surely at least one thing has happened to you during the course of your lifetime that completely defies all explanation. A single mysterious event that immediately made you question everything you thought you knew about the world. Coincidentally, that's probably exactly how most of the people in these videos were feeling when they were recording. Number 15, The Walker. Here's a video that is either 100% fake or 100% terrifying. A family from the Philippines is going for a joyride when they spot a pedestrian ahead of them who is scary enough to make them bust out the cameras and start recording. The obvious answer is that this person could have just pulled their shirt over their head as a prank, but look a little closer and you can see that there is a pair of fully developed shoulders that lead up to the neckline, right where the head should be. You can even see sweat stains where the shoulder blades are. Also, more importantly, how would they be able to walk so smoothly like that, with a shirt covering both of their eyes? This person definitely has a strong sense of direction. I can't tell if this video is real or not, but a local myth in the Philippines would suggest it is actually real. Apparently, when you live in the Philippines and you see a person who is missing their head, it is a symbol that means they are going to pass away soon. Therefore, a lot of people think that this video is proof that the legend is real. Number 14, The Vanishing. Don't blink for this next one, or you'll miss it. This footage was taken during a live stream broadcast of a popular show. A man is being interviewed, but you don't have to pay much attention to him or what he has to say because something way weirder is about to happen. Watch the two women directly to his left, particularly the woman who has blonde hair. Now you see her, and now you don't. This woman appears to be standing perfectly still and then she vanishes, all within the short period of time it takes for an airline worker to pass her by. It really does look like there's nowhere for her to have gone. What's stranger still, nobody else seems to react to this strange public disappearance. Someone please explain to me how this possibly could have happened on live television. Number 13, technical difficulties. This video was uploaded by a YouTuber named The Guitar Family, and it captures a strange moment during one of CNN's news broadcasts. A typical news segment looks to be going exactly as planned, but then a very strange technical malfunction occurs. Pay close attention to the face of the man on the right.
Well, there hasn't been any statement or anything from the outside, but however they have reacted to.
I generally don't pay much attention to these types of videos because, honestly, I usually can't even tell what they're trying to point out, but in this video, something strange clearly happens with the news anchor's eyes. They look like they change into some unnatural color and then go back to normal. Some people say the fluorescent light is reflecting off of his contact lenses, but others aren't so sure. It sounds like a good explanation to me, but then again, with all of the conspiracy theories that have turned out to be true in the past, I honestly can't say for sure. Number 12, the Norwegian spiral. In 2009, a strange phenomenon rocked the residents of Norway just before sunrise. Many Norwegians were surprised to find a glowing beam of light just beyond the Whitecap mountain ranges. Suddenly, the beam exploded into a huge hypnotizing spiral of white light that was hundreds of miles long. Watching as they all vacantly stared into the bright white vortex, totally mesmerized. Then, without a sound, the vortex shifted into a black hole and disappeared as quickly as it came. To this day, no real plausible explanation exists for why a huge vortex opened up over Norway. It was so big that people saw it as far away as Sweden. Some people even insist that it was a government weather experiment or else a real-life portal that probably went to some place you'd never want to visit. Number 11, monk attack. Monks are trained to somehow withstand incredible levels of punishment that would seriously injure or take the life of an average person. In this video, a filmmaker travels all the way to a sacred temple in Malaysia to watch a monk put his life on the line for no other reason than to demonstrate his true power. Since these feats involve inhuman tests of strength, the filmmaker brings a biomedical engineer with him to verify that these demonstrations are real. With this person's expertise, they are able to measure exactly how hard the monk is striking himself and how badly these acts would hurt an ordinary person without training. After harnessing an invisible substance known as chi, the monk is ready to begin. He starts with bashing himself over the head with a metal bar again and again. From too many blows, the monk simply turns around and uses the other end to hit himself straight in the face some more. Amazingly, there's no marks and no blood. Even though he isn't hurt at all, the biomedical engineer isn't very impressed. He thinks this demonstration could be explained by modern physics. If you hit yourself with a bar at just the right angle, it shouldn't cause too much damage. The monk hears this and comes up with something even crazier. He gets smashed in the back with a sledgehammer while balancing all of his body weight on extremely sharp spears. One of the spears is even poking him straight in the neck. This really impresses everyone who is watching, and the monk has basically proven himself at this point. However, the monk still isn't done yet. He is determined to show the entire world that his teachings are no joke. To do this, he takes a commercial drill and puts the drill bit right up to his throat. Then he turns it on full blast and presses hard while screaming. Should have absolutely taken his life, but instead, it only leaves him with a small mark. After using advanced biomedical equipment, the team was able to determine that he was pushing this drill with over 200 pounds of force straight into his neck. There's no other way that he was faking this, and yet at the same time, there's also no way for modern science to explain it. Even though they did this while in full view of a medical expert, no one but one knows how this could be done. No one, of course, except for the monks. Number 10. The floater. This footage was taken when a team of curious German explorers traveled deep into Africa to talk with a powerful shaman who claimed to have many spiritual gifts. When they asked him to demonstrate what he was capable of to their cameras and to the world at large, the shaman, whose name was Ovaku, decided to dazzle them with this maneuver. Chants a mysterious song of celebration and encouragement as Ovaku hangs suspended in midair. This incredible act looks like it's taking a lot of physical strength as well as mental concentration to perform. The shaman is gasping for breath and appears to be struggling hard to stay afloat. When he drops to the ground, he is exhausted and looks like he is about to pass out on the spot. Determining whether this footage is real or not depends on how much you are willing to trust the German explorers. They insist that no lifts or pulleys were used, and they do seem genuinely amazed while filming, but who knows what they were really thinking for sure. I will admit that there doesn't seem to be any strings attached to them during the close-up shots, so maybe the shaman can really levitate after all. Number 9. The Haunted Xbox. This video comes from a YouTuber named Kusun2. He's a college student with an original Xbox that has a very strange and unexplainable problem. Every time he is hanging out by himself, his console likes to turn itself on. This happens so often that Kusun2 decides to record it for evidence. The only problem is that this Xbox appears to be camera shy. He'll stare and stare at it and it won't do a thing. It only seems to turn on when he is doing something else, almost as if it's trying to distract him. Even now as he films his Xbox and explains his story, it refuses to turn on by itself and makes him look like a fool. After talking for about 5 minutes, Kusun2 finally decides to test his theory and leaves the room. The Xbox does nothing for a long time, but then keep in mind that there's no way to turn on an original Xbox remotely, and he always keeps his controller neatly wrapped up on the top of the system, so he can't be using a controller that's out of sight. On top of that, things have been regularly disappearing and reappearing on their own, and now Kusun2 is extremely creeped out about being alone. Number 8. Hillary Clinton's glass. You don't have to be into politics in order to appreciate this extremely strange mystery from the 2016 presidential election. Hillary Clinton is working over the crowd in Cleveland, Ohio, when something apparently starts working over her insides instead. She begins to cough profusely, and when she raises a glass of water to her lips, something really bizarre happens. Pay attention and you'll see 2 green objects fall directly from her mouth into the glass. They sink directly to the bottom of the glass and sit there. She quickly puts the glass away and resumes her speech as if nothing happens. This footage split the internet into one of the strangest debates ever. One side insisted that this mystery substance was phlegm, and the other suggested everything from reptilian eggs to secret government experimental projects. Well, it's definitely a logical conclusion to think that Hillary was spitting up phlegm after her coughing fit. This video has never been fully solved, and I wouldn't expect an answer from Hillary anytime soon. She, along with every other politician, simply chose to ignore this strange occurrence and never comment, either out of embarrassment or because there really is something deeper to hide. Number 7. The Paris Catacombs. Paris might be considered to be the fashion capital of the world, but it also has a much darker claim to fame. A series of underground tunnels extending for miles where over 6 million people have been buried. As if that isn't enough, one day a videotape was recovered from the depths of the catacombs. that still has never been explained. The VHS footage was taken by a single brave person as they explored the twisting paths of the catacombs, miles and miles below the city. The lone traveler journeys as far down as he can stand, which was further than most would consider to have been safe. He often stops to curiously handle and examine ancient bones along the way. He's poking around one forgotten pathway that's about 6 miles under the city when he suddenly stops and grows very tense. His breathing becomes heavy as he begins to frantically search for a way out. The beginning of the video shows him acting calm and collected, but now he is sprinting through the catacombs in a panic, only slowing down to briefly decide on which path to take next. The more you watch, the more it feels like he is being chased by something off camera. Finally, he pauses for just 1 second, and then this happens. No one knows what could have caused him to drop his camera and run like that, but it couldn't have been anything good. His identity has never been revealed, and his body has never been found. With this in mind, it is quite possible that on one night he became the newest addition to the catacombs. Number 6. The Rescue. This news station in China claims to have received an amazing videotape that was taken from a highway camera. In it, an absent-minded bicyclist is crossing the street directly in the path of a speeding vehicle that can't slow down. Just when it seems like he's going to be splattered, a mysterious stranger comes to help.
ప్రమాదం జరిగే పరిస్థితి వచ్చింది సరిగ్గా అదే సమయంలో.
If this footage is to be believed, then it looks like a person in all black comes flying up to the would-be accident at an impossible rate of speed. This person appears to grab the bicyclist and then teleports them to safety, bicycle and all. As the stunned man struggles to figure out what happened, the person who saved him quickly walks off without so much as a single word. Of course, a logical explanation would be CGI. If you look at the likes and the comments of the original video, however, not everyone is convinced of that. Number 5. The Phoenix Lights. These strange blinking lights flew up and down the entire state of Arizona during the 90s. First they rolled over the hills from the north, and then, when they reached the border of Arizona, they tucked back around and traveled south across the entire state again. No one knew what to think back then, and no one really knows what to make of the incident today. The reports made to police and to the media on that night sound exactly the same. People living in completely different areas of the state were describing a gigantic slow-motion craft that was pitch black and completely silent, at least until it passed under you. When that happened, you could see what one witness described as a brilliant amber color coming from the center. It's one of the most widely reported incidents of UFO activity on record, yet it's also somehow not mentioned or remembered. Perhaps this is because not many people had cell phones back then, which means that there isn't a lot of video evidence to analyze now. Still, there's no less than 4 different recordings of the Phoenix Lights, and these were immediately picked up and played by media outlets. All of the videos show the exact same thing the eyewitness reports describe, a slow-moving UFO that makes no sound. The government has a different version of events. They explain this bizarre occurrence away as just a standard military drill. According to them, these were actually special flares that were being used as military target practice. Most witnesses, however, insist that this was either a secret...
Alright guys, so that's the end of this video. So, goodbye. What?